an early member of the House Freedom Caucus, which is many of our friends.
Yes, sir.
They love you. A couple of them said, Jim Jordan, who's a winner, Mark Meadows, they said hello. He helped us pass the largest tax cuts and reform in American history, and that goes also for regulation. Largest tax cuts in history, largest regulation cuts in history. He supported pro-American energy policies, helped us achieve energy independence, first time ever that we were energy independent. I would say right now we are no longer energy independent. I think, it actually can go that way. They ended leases, they ended drilling, they ended things, they ended the pipeline. I just think it's incredible. And if you look at, just to bring it to the basic terms, you look at your gasoline price, $1.86 when I left, and now it's, what is it, $3.50, $3.75? And you think that's bad? Wait to see it in a few months from now. It's going up. We voted for $2.5 trillion to fully rebuild our military. We rebuilt the entire United States military, and now they're going to be going back into an endless war, it looks like. They're heading back to the endless wars. We got to get out of those, too. We voted for the border wall, and he helped us achieve the largest ever reduction in illegal immigration. So the wall was, we built almost 500 miles of wall, and all they had to do, and it took 2.5 years to get it started because everybody was suing us, mostly Congress, right, the Democrats. I won all those suits, and then we started. We built almost 500 miles. We just had a little bit to go. A few months would have been totally finished, and he stops it almost in the first day. And it had a tremendous impact on illegal immigration, and that means drug smugglers, it means traffickers, human traffickers, in women, by the way. They do the women thing, mostly. It's mostly women, not children. People thought children was women. And murderers. And now, Jody, as you know, we have murderers flowing into our country because they're releasing them from prisons. And why wouldn't they? They don't want to keep them. So we got rid of thousands of MS-13, brought them back, and it wasn't easy bringing them back because they never took people back. They said, we're not taking them back. But I said, how much are we paying these countries? So it's Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. How much are we paying them? And $500 million a year. That's a lot of money. 500. So I said, cancel it. Cancel it. Just cancel it. The next day I get a call from the head of each country. Sir, we'd love to have the MS-13. One day. Remember that, Jim? They wouldn't take it back. Under Obama, what would happen is they'd fly him in and they'd put airplanes on the runway. They say, you can't land here. Take them back. We don't want them. And when they came in by buses, they turned around the buses. I don't even know if you knew that. It was so bad. And who the hell did you want them back? But after 24 hours, and people told me, sir, they'll never take them back. And I just asked one question, because we give everybody money, because we're stupid. And they all have their people that get it for them, right? That just seems to be the way it is. But I said, how much? He said, 500. I said, well, that's the end of that. And that's what happened. They called up and they said, it would be a great honor to take them back. These are lovely citizens. And we never had a problem. Now they're ending all of that. And the big thing is stay in Mexico. I got stay in Mexico. We had to go through courts. We had to go through everything. I got stay in Mexico, which is, nobody thought it would be possible. Because here, they come in, they walk over, they put 1 foot on our land, and we say, welcome to the United States. Our border patrol's not allowed to do anything about it. We had it so they had to stay in Mexico. And they couldn't come in until they got approvals, which was very hard to do. And they had hundreds of thousands of people waiting in Mexico. The alternative is come into the United States, dissipate all over the United States, and come back for your court case. And nobody ever came back. You know, I mean, maybe 1%, the ones that weren't so smart, they came back. But nobody ever came back. It was very rare that somebody came back. And then you had catch and release. You catch them, take their name. You don't ask them for a phone number. They haven't got a phone. Haven't got an address. So you catch them, you take their name, and you release them. If they're killers, if they're drug dealers, you release them into our country. It's called catch and release. Maybe the dumbest of all. Then you also have chain migration. So you come in, and once you're in, you're allowed to bring your mother, your father, your wife, your kids, your grandfather. We had a guy, a killer. he ran over 15 people on the west side highway. Remember that one 2 years ago? He just decided to go at about 70 miles an hour to turn because there were a lot of people gathered. They were all running, right? They were all running. They want to put themselves in shape, and they end up losing their legs or losing their life. And this maniac is going down. He sees people all gathered, getting ready to go for a jog in a location. West Side Highway. He turns the car right into the park, and he wiped him out. So he lost 8 dead. And nobody ever talks about all the ones that lost their arm or their leg. One lost 2 legs and an arm. Goes to jog to put themselves in shape, and they come back without an arm and without 2 legs. And this is a guy that brought a family in from chain migration because he was here. And Jody understands that stuff better than anybody, and now he'll be indirectly working on that because he's working on the most important thing, and that's keeping the elections honest. It's the most important.